What is up, my friends on the internet? Back at it with another video, and today you are on the Trail 125 yet again. I've made a bunch of mods to this bike and I want to show them to you, but to show them to you, I feel like since I'm turning this bike into an adventure bike, we need to go on a proper adventure. We need to do what this bike is meant for. We need to do what everybody does with their big adventure bike. So we're gonna follow the course that has laid, we're gonna follow the track that has been laid down for us by many BMW GS owners, Africa Twin owners, the V-Strom guys. We're gonna do what they do with their adventure bikes today, with my little adventure bike. And while we do that, I'll show you all the new parts I did, or all the mods I've made. The bike is not done. I'm gonna roll this out in several videos, but today is Adventure Day. Today, we do exactly what the ADV daddies do. Let's get on into it. Okay, so here we are at the coffee shop. Today's coffee shop of choice is Oppo, and I'm doing exactly what big adventure bike guys do with their motorcycles. They come to coffee shops. So here we are. But it handled the adventure great, you know. It did everything that I would have been able to do on my big GS. I rode here, I ordered coffee, I parked. Yeah, really good at adventuring. So here she is. We made a good bit of progress over the weekend, namely on the front. My plan is to go do all the stuff on the front and then start working my way back, knocking out every single part I think I could end up benefiting from. I do actually want to go on epic adventures on this. I'm not just gonna go to coffee shops. First plan to test it out is to do a big iron butt on it and like on road. And then after that, I'm gonna try to do a bunch of stuff off-road and really push its limits. So the build is serious. The coffee shop thing was just a joke, though it will probably end up in a lot of coffee shops. But starting first, we got the big Diablo tall fender here. This thing is pretty nice. I filmed an install video, but then decided that's not really the kind of video I wanted to make. I figured it'd be easier just to actually get it on and then tell you everything that I did to it. Right now it's raining and I am hiding under a tree, which is like just amazing luck. I had planned to film under this tree anyway, but now it's raining, so good. But yeah, you have to relocate a bunch of stuff to make this work. First off, you have to take out this loom here. You have to completely unattach it, put the fender on, then reattach it over the fender. You want to put the fender on first. And then the same thing's gonna happen with your horn. For the horn, I ended up eliminating a lot of the bracket just so it still fit. It seems like it's not meant to fit with the horn, and I want the horn for sure on a mini moto. I need to alert people that I am there on a very small bike. So you can relocate that if you just get handy with the little bracket, and it's kind of finicky, but you'll get it. Next up, I got the big bash guard here. That is the piece I am most stoked about. It is going to completely protect this headlight when I inevitably drop it off-road, and it looks really good. It's a nice unit. For me, I ended up doing it where the arms bow down. I suppose you could do it the other way. This just looked better to me. So if you're kind of wondering like I was wondering, that's how it works. The cool thing about all these parts is that they're really cheap because they come from Japan or Thailand or the Philippines. But the bad thing is the instructions are shitty at best, non-existent, is more realistic though. So you kind of got to guess your way through it. And I've already done a lot of the guesswork for you, so hopefully that helps. And then next up, we've got the single point mount bark busters here. The trick to these is to move the mirrors inward. And then once you do that, you can fit the bracket on the inside near the cluster here. If you leave the mirror on the outside and try to put it there, it's not going to actually cover the whole entire grip. The beauty of that, though, is they are adjustable. You can make them shorter or longer because they are a universal part. But for me, I have them on the long setting, and I have them inside of the mirror brackets. That way I have a little bit more reach on them. I was worried that the mirrors would be too far in like that and I wouldn't be able to see behind me. And it's kind of a 50-50. The left one isn't great. You kind of got to move your shoulder to see behind you. The right one works just fine. The right one you can see plenty good. Nothing really changed. I'm super happy with that. But that's the mod so far. It's most of the front end stuff. I have a carrier that I want to put here. The cool thing about that is it'll put a bar right here. I don't know if you saw that. So I'm going to put a carrier here. The cool thing about it is it'll put a bar right there that I can put a designated GPS on. So my plan is to put maybe my fuel on a rack here, my GPS here, still be able to see this gauge here, and then switch this out or get rid of this altogether and put a top bar here. And on that top bar, I'll mount a quad lock charger where I'll put my cell phone so that I have a screen here, a screen up here a little higher, and then this screen still super visible. That will allow me all of my stuff. And the quad lock charger will run back down into the battery, of course. That way my phone is fully charged. And then I'm gonna see if I can maybe figure out a way to hot swap batteries in the GPS unit I'm gonna get, or I will just run it off of like one of those little battery packs. When it gets low, I'll just throw a battery pack in my tactical satchel here and then run a cord up into it. But those things tend to have really good battery life, so I'm not super concerned about the GPS running out of battery. So what is up next? Annoyingly, I think the mirrors are actually going to change. I wanted some folding enduro mirrors, and for these to come off, I have to take all this stuff off to slide it down, so I'm going to have to undo some stuff I did. But I'm going to look up enduro mirrors, see if that's something I want to run still. I may or may not. The other options that I have to do, or the other things I have to do, are run the top bar there, run that quad lock, and find that rack. That rack is sadly one of the things that I ordered from Japan that ended up getting sent back to Japan because of like an address issue. That's just kind of the problem with international shipping. You can give them their perfect address, but there's language barriers, there's a lot of hands it needs to pass through, and sometimes that doesn't work out so well. But yeah, the bike is coming along really nicely. After I do the stuff I just said, I'll consider the front end done, and we'll start moving our way back into the middle. For the middle, we're going to be doing bigger crash bars, bigger skid plate, and center carrier there, like a big rack system here that will allow me to get some more luggage on there. The problem I see with that is that it will cover the battery compartment, so I think the rack will have to come off every single time I need to access the battery, which ideally isn't very many times, so I'm not super worried about that. But once the middle is done, we will proceed moving backwards. Nothing really here is gonna happen too much because that's where the engine and shit is, and that's the stuff that I'm not changing. But I am gonna run the passenger pegs, the passenger seat, an extra luggage rack. So the passenger seat will take up the spot that this bag is taking up. Then there'll be an extension on the rack, and that's where this bag will go. And then here is where some magic is gonna happen. I'm really stoked on this. I'm gonna run an auxiliary fuel tank, and over that auxiliary fuel tank, I'll use that tank as the support for my saddlebag. So instead of buying a universal saddlebag mount, I'm actually gonna buy a gas tank that operates the same way. It blocks the bag from hitting the tire. Beefier suspension, and yeah, a bunch of stuff. Oh, I also found some really cool stuff for the rear end. I didn't plan to do too much back here, but I found some really cool stuff, so I'm gonna make that a surprise. But in a video, 2-3 videos from now, when I'm getting to the back of the bike, you'll see that. But yeah, front end is almost done. Things are moving along nicely. I absolutely love this motorcycle. It's just looking sicker and sicker. The tall fender with the bash guard on the headlight there is such a good look. So nice. Dang boy, she. Okay, well, that's really it for today's episode. Honestly, I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update on what's going on with the bike, show you what I have going on. The front end is coming together really nicely, I think. Again, if you have any questions about that front end or any of the mods I have planned, or you want to give me any suggestions, yada, 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 just put those in the comment section below. I appreciate when you guys interact with these videos. I love seeing the comments. I try to reply to every single one of them. I love when you hit thumbs up. I love when you do anything. Like once you just basically start interacting, I just get super happy. So keep that up. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and hit subscribe. That helps a ton. And if you did like this video, please hit that thumbs up, obviously. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys are liking the direction this bike is going. Hopefully you guys are liking the direction this channel is going, because I'm having a lot of fun doing all this stuff. This is the content I've always wanted to make, and I'm finally getting to do that. I'm finally getting to kind of give this kind of build and this kind of bike a platform, and I think that's really important. So if you like that stuff, stay tuned, because a lot more of it is coming. But I will see you guys on the next one. I love each and every one of you. Peace.